right, good evening, everyone. Pursuant to Mayor LaChapelle's May 19th, 2021 mayor authorization in accordance with Massachusetts 940 CMR 29.10, this meeting of the Easthampton Board of Public Works will be conducted via remote participation. Michelle, could we get a roll call for those
Sure.
present?
Thomas Malsbury,
Present.
David Fagnan,
Present.
and Stephen Litwin.
Present.
I'm going to make a motion to open the Board of Public Works meeting for January 19th at 5:02 p.m. via remote participation.
I will second that.
Okay. All in favor? Thomas Malsbury,
Yes.
David Fagnan,
Yes.
Stephen Litwin.
Yes.
All in favor, motion carries.
All right, meeting is open. First item on our agenda is public speak. It appears we have no one joining with us this evening. So we will move on to our second standing item, which is mayoral speak. I don't believe we were expecting the mayor to attend this evening, Greg. All right, we will move on. Item number 3, approval of the December 1st, 2020 minutes from our last meeting together. I had reviewed them previously. I don't know if you all just saw the email I sent out to Michelle. When I opened them this evening, I noticed that the virtual meeting language at the top of our template was incorrect. I had no issues with the body of the text. So I can, if no one else does, we can discuss it, or we can make a motion to approve them with that technical change, or we can continue it to a next meeting if you want to see a finalized revised copy, if you have any other edits as well.
I would move we approve them with that caveat, Thomas.
Okay. Steve, did you have any issues with the minutes Michelle prepared for us?
No, I say let's approve them with the technical changes.
Okay, then I will make a motion to approve the minutes as received with the updated virtual language to the mayoral order from the governor's order.
And I'll second. Yeah.
All right.
Thomas Malsbury,
Yes.
David Fagnan,
Yes.
Steve Litwin.
Yes.
All in favor, motion carries.
All right, and then the meat of this meeting, item number 4, with Steve's official appointment to the board to his own full term. He had been filling in for the remainder of Austin's term. By Mass General Law, we are supposed to select a new chairperson every year as a new term begins. So I open the floor to discussion of who we'd like to select as chair. I'm happy to continue, but also if anybody else would like to steer the board for the next year, I will not be offended or opposed.
I personally am very pleased that Thomas wants to chair us for another year. No,
Thank you.
I think you've been a great leader, Thomas, and you have a good handle on things. And if you're willing to continue, I would support that.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's, I think we all want to see this board have some progress and move forward. And I think any of us could and would be able to do it. But if you'd like me to continue, we can move on. Steve, I know, Steve, you've only had a few meetings with us, but I welcome your input or anything you'd like to say.
I second that as well. I'm comfortable with you being the leader of the pack.
Yeah, I mean, it's for what it is. We generally need consensus to do much of anything. So it's really just at this point who starts the Zoom meetings.
Yeah.
But.
So, is it appropriate? I will make a motion that Thomas Malsbury be the chairperson of the Easthampton Board of Public Works for the next term, 1-year term.
And I second that.
Outvoted again. All right, Michelle.
Yep, a vote. Yep,
Yeah.
Thomas Malsbury,
Yes.
David Fagnan,
Yes.
Stephen Litwin.
Yes.
All in favor, motion carries.
Thank you, guys.
Absolutely.
All right, and we will move on to item number 5, Director's Report. So basically you have all of December and most of January to catch us up on, right?
Yeah, I know, huh?
Anything happen?
Nope.
Nope.
No,
Okay. Meeting
it's been a
adjourned.
pretty, it's been a pretty crazy. I mean, December wasn't too bad. You know, we just had the salting events. We didn't do much plowing at all until this last. So, but the guys were in pretty much right through the Christmas holiday weekend. I had a lot of staff in over this past holiday weekend helping with the flooding at Maple Street School, and with that bad accident on Glendale Street, I had some staff in to help close the road on Friday night. That on top of all the snow and everything else, it's been a busy month, month and a half here. We do have the staff, like we're at absolute minimum staffing levels to try to keep everyone separated with the COVID numbers the way that they've been. So I'm looking forward to that ending the first week of February. Hopefully things start to calm down and I can have, full crews of staff back, every day. But right now I think it's we're getting by. So we did spend not a ton of time, but we've helped a lot with getting the COVID testing that was happening at City Hall and helping get that moved in an area for testing set up at Millside Park, as far as putting up the tents and the tent and getting heat established for the curative staff that's there and getting that resource kind of established for anyone in the city that needs to go get a test. So pretty much every DPW division stepped up to help do that in one way or the other. So I'm very thankful to the guys, being willing to, kind of get outside of their normal duties and lend a hand to, that's a good benefit for everybody in the town to have a spot to go. So, and it seems to be working out fairly well over there at Millside Park. So, but as for our more normal responsibilities, we did have a pretty good sized water main break on Florence Road on January 8th, a piece of 6-inch cast there by Catherine Root Park, right at the pretty much Florence Road and Northampton Street intersection. Let go. Small section to isolate. We were able to isolate it right there between Northampton Street and Maxine Circle. So we didn't have a lot of people without water for, a long period of time. But I think the high that day that the guys were out there fixing it was about 15 degrees. So it was a long day for the water department. Water and sewer crew kind of pulled together to get that taken care of. We've been dealing with a lot of trouble at the water department just with the aging of our SCADA system. The controls for the tank levels and pump on and off times. It's all, circa 1996 when the Hendrick Street treatment facility was built. We're having continual trouble getting parts, and the equipment is just, some of the fiber optic equipment is just, far past its usable lifespan. And we've been able to limp it along, and we're trying to keep that going, but there is some expenses to enterprise coming for those repairs pretty soon. I'll be having to look for an appropriation, I think, for replacement of the fiber optic communication systems over there between the Lowhead pump station and the Peaceful Valley tank level and the Pines Well and the treatment plant itself. So that stuff's coming. I do have several items that were on the finance committee and city council finance committee last week that are up for public hearing on city council tonight at 6:15. Water meters, a bunch of repairs at the wastewater treatment plant. Again, just infrastructure that's past its expected life, and $42,000 for Charles Street for the sewer improvements that were completed there as part of the CDBG work that we did this past fall. So the final bill for that actually came in around a little over 29,000. So it came in less than we had anticipated, but we left the appropriation alone at 42,000 just in case there's anything outstanding in the spring that we need to address, and then any additional money will go right back to retained earnings for FY next fiscal year. So I'm hoping to get those appropriations through the full council tonight so we can just keep our work moving. I do have a proposal. It came in after the deadline for the agenda, so I didn't want to get into it too much tonight, and I will get copies of this to you guys before next week, before the next meeting. But I do have a proposal from Time Bond to assist with our rate setting and a possible establishment of a stormwater utility So that is, I got it. She's, I think, like about 2 hours after Barbara needed the agenda last week. So with the holiday, she needed a little bit early. So, but I'll get that to you guys so you have a chance to read through it. I'm fairly comfortable with it and, getting a contract in place and getting it going. But I just want to, I want you guys to be as involved as possible and we'll discuss the proposal from Ty and Bond in a public meeting in case anyone were to join in and just want the whole process to be as transparent as it possibly can. So
As do I. Thank you.
I'll have that to you guys by the end of this week. And then, that way you have plenty of time to, it's not, very long, but you'll have plenty of time to take a look at it and think of any questions you have. And then I'll see if Mike and Tiffany from Ty and Bond are able to attend our next meeting there. I believe it's going to be February 2nd.
Yep.
But that's basically everything I have for you guys for tonight. So
Thank you. All right. I guess just as a formality, we have one member of the public with us, so I will reopen public speak. If you have anything you'd like to address the board with that wasn't on this evening's agenda, feel free to unmute yourself and address the board and the director. If not, we will move on.
Hi, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I did not mean to be 6 minutes late. I apologize.
Quite
for that. So I'm Gwen Morrissey. I'm the chair of the Economic Development and Industrial Commission for the city. And I paid attention to a couple of the conversations you've recently had as the BPW about water and sewer rates and infrastructure. And I'm aware of some of the extraordinary needs that our city finds ourselves facing with water and sewer. Mm-hmm. And I am interested, if you are interested in having all of you join EDIC for one of our upcoming meetings and talk about what some of your needs appear to be. It sounds like you are getting toward maybe having some public education or public needs assessment or some kind of interaction that is public facing that would help inform how we move forward with setting rates and understanding what our actual needs are. And EDIC understands the importance of having any infrastructure at all to make the economy go. And we would really value being partners in that if you would like to pursue that line of thinking. We don't have any particular angle, we don't have any particular plan, but we would love to talk with you and learn more about how we could be supportive of that. So that's one thing. And so our next meeting is whatever the third Tuesday of February is. Couldn't tell you the date off the top of my head, but it's at 4:00, and we'd be happy to have any of you join us, including Mr. Nodelman. If you'd like to join, that would be great. So there's that. And then also, independent of my role as EDIC chair, as a resident of Easthampton who recently got a new street light lamp installed on the corner of my front yard, I am not, except at like 5 in the morning, affected by this, but I have noticed, and I've already sent a message to DPW. I know that my address is already on the list, but I was advised by my representative in local government, Tom Peake, to just let you guys know, so that I think you already know. I'm just piling on that whatever Eversource's good idea was to save energy is also floodlighting my street, my tiny little street, so I can't see stars or the moon, and my neighbors across the street have what look like football field lights on the front of their house, so they can't open the shades at night. So I'm just here to pile on about that and let you know that it makes me very unhappy. So I think that that's something that you're already aware of. And that's all I have to say. So Mr. Malmesbury, I sent a message that I think went to your email. It might not have gone to your email. So what is a good way for me to follow up on this with you? Regarding EDIC.
I'm looking at did you send it to my easthampton.gov address?
Great question. Don't know. I sent it a couple weeks ago.
I'm not.
You have an easthampton.gov though, so I can look for that.
Yep, just my Team Malmesbury at easthampton.gov is.
Cool. All right, I'll send the same message, but to that address and see if we do that.
Yes.
That'll be a great way to follow up with that. So any questions or comments for me, or shall I see myself out?
No, Gwen, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Thomas.
Actually, in public speak for a non-agenda item, we're not supposed to reply to
Okay.
questions, so,
Very good.
but
Well, I
we
can be
thank-
found on the internet. So if you want to follow up with me,
that we can do.
crazy.
Yeah,
Okay.
and we thank you for the input and on both topics and look forward to discussing them further.
All right. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Have a great night, folks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gwen.
Bye-bye.
All right. With that, I will close
Can I-
public speak and.
Can I address you guys about the streetlights to put some context to the whole situation for a second, or?
If
Yeah.
you'd like me to reopen your director's report, I think we could discuss any topic you'd like. under
Yeah,
that.
just if you don't mind briefly.
Yes,
So the streetlight initiative, I'll call it, has been quite a challenge for us. We're approached by Eversource, contractor for Eversource, offering to replace about $225,000 worth of streetlights for the city at absolutely no cost to the city. So that's a difficult thing for us to say no to as we look at, projected annual energy savings of $25,000 a year on top of over $200,000 in free streetlights, never mind what we'll save in new streetlights not needing repairs for, I don't know, the next five or 6 years. I think we're going to see a pretty decent reduction in what we're paying to fix streetlights. Now we have been maintaining a list of problem locations where they're overly bright or they were installed at not the best angle and are shining onto someone's yard or in their windows. And we've been working diligently with the contractor to get those resolved as quickly as possible. Deflectors have been ordered for the lights that are in areas where they're overly bright, and they are supposed to be arriving by the 1st of February. And then it's a couple of days of work for the contractor for Eversource to get those installed. So, and I understand there's a lot of concern in the city about the new lights, and we are doing what we can to get them addressed. So it's just been I'd rather explain that there's some areas where we need to do better and put deflectors in than tell the board or the city council or any resident of the community that we left $225,000 in streetlights on the table and said no to $25,000 a year in energy savings. So, I think we've got, I don't know, Michelle, about 60 or so lights that need to be addressed, but they've installed over 500. So, I'll take that ratio.
Yeah, we have about 50, and I think the number was like, by the time they were going to be done, like 637 streetlights that they were going to replace.
So that being said, and for members of the public that watch the recording, if there is an issue with your light, call the DPW. We need an address, we need a poll number, we need a brief description of the problem, and we'll get it on the list and get them fixed as soon as we can.
all right, well, thank you for informing the board and the public of that, and we can revisit it if anybody would like to, public or on the board would like to add it to a future agenda, that can be done as well, so.
Yeah, I mean, one extra challenge with the whole thing is we don't have staff on public works that can deal with a streetlight that needs to be either addressed or fixed. We don't have a bucket truck. We don't have, an electrician on the DPW staff. So we're kind of at the mercy of contractors either way, but we will deal with them as we can.
Thank you. All right, if no other board members have any discussion with Greg or anything they'd like to add to this evening's meeting, I will make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Well, before we do that, again, I just wanted to go back to the email that I sent out about a month or so ago to all the board members. I did have a chance to kind of go through the water resource management plan, and two areas that really jumped out on me, and I've seen it with Greg, the maintenance and the repair work that's needed on sewer, the water treatment plants. There's a lot in here, but that really stood out. I worked for a contractor, and during my last 5 years working for them as their corporate safety director, we had a new president, and that was his course of action because he realized a lot of towns and cities were in need of repair. with their treatment plants. And we've done jobs in Warwick, Rhode Island, Providence, Blackstone, Clinton, Mass, Connecticut. And, you know, I don't know if there's a contractor that would be, who's out there that'd be willing to work and what needs to be repaired and what needs to be maintained. And the other thing that stood out too was the sludge being trucked to Waterbury, Connecticut. Is that our only option? Again, one of the companies, I worked for Dan O'Connell's under the O'Connell companies, and another company was Nefco, New England Fertilizer Company, and they took sludge from Deer Island and turned it into fertilizer. I don't know if any of the surrounding communities are bringing their sludge to them, but maybe there's a trade-off, or maybe there could be a cost savings. So that's what I was wondering, when Ty and Bond is getting into this, is this something that they could see? Are there contractors out there that could work with the city of Easthampton in a maintenance program for the treatment plants? And is there any other options besides transporting the sludge to Waterbury, Connecticut? Those are just some of the things. And I noticed in the back of this booklet, there is a long list of recommendations. And I don't really know what's been taken care of or not, which kind of lead me to think it'd be nice if we had maybe a 5-year plan. First year, what really needs to be done? Second year, the second amount of work that needs to be done, and going down so forth. So those were just some of my thoughts, just kind of brainstorming after going through this.
Yep, no, the board is welcome to that input. You know, we can't really discuss those topics this evening, but like I said, if you would like to add them, I mean, they should be part of the discussion with Ty and Bond. And, you know, we do, that's, you know, like what Dave and I were talking about last meeting, we do want to set a, you know, sort of multi-year rate structure and enterprise structure, and those would be tied to target, you know, capital improvements for each of those years and the funding required. So what you are asking for is something that we are hoping to develop in hand with the rate structures to sort of tie capital improvements to revenue streams. So, you know, and any alternative, you know, that's sort of what I want to work through with the workshop sessions. Once we get something to work with, is to start brainstorming ideas like that, that we can discuss in a public forum and hash out and feedback to Ty and Bond and feedback to Greg and get his input. So, you know, that is a structure we're trying to move towards. We have a full board now and feel like we can, you know, work towards that. So thank you for really digging into the document, and we can discuss it further in workshops and public meetings.
All right, thank you for that.
All right. Good meeting, guys. Thank you. All right. With that, I will make a motion to adjourn this evening's meeting at 5:24 p.m. If anybody cares to join me with that.
I will second that, certainly.
Thomas Fallsbury,
Yes.
David Fagnan,
Yes.
Steve Litwood,
Yes.
all in favor, motion carries. Good night, gentlemen. We'll see you on February 2nd.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
Good night,
Stay
everyone.
safe.
Thank you.
Good night.